Hold the bone.
Peace, everybody. I'm Chuck, and welcome to my studio. Welcome to Ross Recording Studio. And today, I'm gonna play the song of the first module from the Coursera course for Ableton Live. I'm using 10. I want to get 12. But actually, the school Coursera is still using 10. They haven't updated, so that's like perfect. I'm using the old software and it's like coinciding perfectly with Coursera. And backtracking a little bit, when I first started my YouTube channel, we used to have the Tascam 4-track 4-channel cassette, which was incredible. Oh my god, that was 1970 74 70, no, probably 76, and $500 was a lot of money. Alexa, what was minimum wage in 1976?
The minimum wage in 1976 was $2.30. This was the year that New York's minimum wage was $2.30, and the federal minimum wage in the United States was also $2.30.
Wow, so you just could see how long it would take to save up to buy a $500 4-track. We had a 2-track, 2-channel, reel-to-reel, like the T-Ax, which was, I don't know where that came from. Mark had that or something. There was another one that appeared, and that one just sat around, never got used, unfortunately. I take 4 tracks on the Tascam, put it to 2 tracks onto the reel-to-reel while playing a live track to those tracks, so you didn't lose any space, and hopefully you got it right. You'd have to do it again. Got it on the 2-track, reel-to-reel. Got to put it, since stereo was a big deal, so it's 4-track is really 2 tracks, because you have to take tracks left, 1, track 2, channel right. And as you put the reel-to-reel back onto the cassette, channel 1 and 2, you had a chance to add on tracks 3 and 4 at the same time. Okay, we did that, and now you got another set onto the cassette deck, or we just leave it channels 1 and 2 so you could re-record on channels 3 and 4. Very cool, very expensive, very long process, as you can see, to do that, versus, Ableton is like unlimited. When I had Adobe Premiere like 1996, like, how many tracks is this thing? Unlimited. We just dropped the pick. We don't drop the mic here. We drop the pick. Huh? Unlimited. Incredible. So, I've got the Coursera. Like I said, I was using it just for recording. That's it. The only thing is sometimes you stop and it would keep playing because it's designed as a looping musical instrument. It can be easily used with the launch pad, the launch keys, launch pad. Incredible. Every guitarist should have one of these. It does everything. Drum machine, keyboards, synchronized. It can put chords on one button. It has all your Mixolydian, Dixolydian, scales, Dorian, Morian, Corian. Throw a countertop in there. And it's just phenomenal. I mean, the amount of information, how it can teach you music theory. This machine can, for example, one note can play the first, third, and fifth. That's first, third, and fifth notes of a scale making up a C chord. Getting a little bit off topic here. Those no theory will understand that. So you go on YouTube and you look at the things how to use Ableton. Okay, they even got the official Ableton classes. Hey, Ableton, okay, this is how you do that. Well, where do you start? I remember when I went to school after using a computer for a couple of years. Basic classes like, they teach you first things how to turn it on. There is a right way and a wrong way. You turn the monitor on before the computer, because if you turn the computer on, the monitor comes on after that. It does create an electrical surge, which could send a spike to the computer. Chances probably 1 in a couple million billion that it would happen. It's just, you turn the volumes down on your amplifiers before you turn the power on, so you don't get that big snap. Just small things like that you learn. So I was messing around with Coursera for engineering on compressors and dynamic range and phase shifters and how to use studio mixers, and because that's what I'm using it for. But to understand what a compressor does, your attack, your release, very informative, and it's free. Look at my eyes wide. Free, and I did sign up for the $40 course because I wanted to do the test, and that was, I kind of like to be tested, and I did pretty good. I got some 90s, 97s in there. I don't think I aced one of them. If I did, I would have remembered that. But that course is amazing. They start and they teach you how to use it, putting things in channel 1, channel 2. How to, what I didn't know is how to do the sampling of the clips. And it's in there. You press the button and it goes. But I didn't, know how to get the second one to start, the third one. Why is there 8 in the session view versus the assembly view? This is the assembly view, I guess we're looking at. I still get confused about assembly and session. Duh. It's one or the other. This is the one that all the other Pro Tools and stuff doesn't have. You can drop 8 clips right in one row, and only one clip will play at a time. If you put it in another spot in another column, it'll play at the same time. Sync it, tune it, the whole 9 yards. I used to use Sony acid loops, and that was incredible. I remember Carlos Santana had this you could buy royalty free and make Carlos Santana sounds out of it. I always wanted to get back into that. I don't know if it's still out there or not, because I'm too busy. This has so much. I don't know if it has Santana licks. I'll have to see if I can add who has different samples. I've never looked in that. I've always seen samples out there, but never for an artist. So, good idea, Chuck. Anybody's listening? And if there's any artists that have samples for Ableton and clips, I'd love to know that. It's what we're doing here. I had to have a start, and I had no idea, and I found this kind of cool. Okay, that's cool. We'll put that little in there, vocal thing, and then there was I'm just going down the list of sounds, and I hadn't added my packs in yet, so I kind of wish I didn't add the packs, because now it's overwhelming. It's like, instead of 1,000 sounds, there's 10,000 sounds. Instead of 10,000 sounds, there's 50. So now all these things that I've done here, I couldn't even probably be able to find now, because it's so packed. So I added the vocals in, and then they had a little flute thing. I go, that's kind of cool, and tap that in there. Add the cymbal in there. But to make it interesting, it's like, okay, the flute just cannot go straight. And you know, that's just, it's not there. But if you do the center channel with the first one, throw it hard left. So I've got channel 2 is the flute mono.
Hold the bone.
Or channel 3 would be hard left. Channel 4 is hard right with the cymbal crash. Keeping in time, you want to add something every certain measures. Sometimes I use 1 measure, 2 measures. Sometimes it's 4, 6, 8. Sometimes it's right on 1. Generally, you don't really add it every single measure. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So I started with the center, hit 1 left, 1 right, to bring it back to the center to round it out before the next beat comes in.
Hold the bone.
Center, left, right, center. Now what do? This part is live. I didn't use all sampling. I don't think the project required all sampling. It did require a middle, a definite beginning, a definite middle, and a definite end. Like using at least 3 or 4 MIDI tracks. So I added all that in there. I like keyboards, even though I'm a guitar player. Being a Yes fan, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, guitars, keyboards, keyboards, they blend off each other. So you have to have it. And, okay, need to throw in keys. Okay, so let's add something. Now the keyboards would kind of, again, be boring if it was just 1 keyboard straight. So I have 1 piano on the left, or on the right, and I have like an organ synthesizer sound on the left. So that way it's playing the exact same notes, but it's 2 different sounds, and it, instead of it being in the center, it separates it. It opens up the air on that. It really does. It makes a huge difference. I went too far back, but now we gotta add the guitar in there. Besides the drums are in there. Excuse me. Now you can hear more of the piano. So actually a lot happened there really fast. It's like amazing when you start clicking on the I should know what the name of each individual row of the box are, but you can see I have there's the guitar sound there. I have the beat going. Another guitar sound, change it up a little bit. Throw in the vocals to. The vocals wasn't there when I wrote this. It was just without the vocals, and it's like, I hear it. I can hear there needs to be vocals, and then the module didn't say you can't sing, so. So I was like, okay, now I gotta write something. So there's no music, no anything. You just start clicking switches, and okay, you got this really cool beat. Seems to be kind of cool happening, you know. Okay, what am I thinking about? I was thinking about coffee and donuts and probably beer and nice big roast beef sandwich or a hoagie from down New York Pizza. But no, yeah, so you just start, you know, you just grab the mic and I want to tell you I love you. I want to tell you I care. I feel the warmth of the sunshine in your hair, by your hair, on your hair. You know, so now I'm getting serious. Now I'm getting serious. And I'm thinking, what would you be doing? You know, it's the sun would be on your hair. You know, on a nice bright sunny day, you're outside working, having a drink, whatever. The sun warms your hair up, so it's not in your hair. Just small details like one word can make a huge difference. This is not me. This is all clips. Yeah, I probably should stop. There's no guitar here in the beginning. This is all samples that scroll through, click on, okay, and drop it up in the box. Sometimes you get a good one, sometimes you get a bad one. You start clicking the buttons where they start and when they stop. There's a timer wheel, so if when you hit one on the column, the wheel starts, and when it gets right about to the top, you hit the next one to start, or you hit it to stop, and then the next one to start. That way it stops, and the next one takes over. So it's, you know, there's one on. And I'll turn it off. Nope, it's still the same one, sorry. Off. Next one's on. Now we're straight into the beat. Again, I'm a huge Yes fan. I'm not saying I'm Steve Howe, though he's the reason I learned to play guitar. Hands down 110% when I was 16 with Yes songs and Fragile, Mood for a Day. Probably was biting off more than I could chew learning to play guitar. It took well over a year to play it. I shouldn't say that. Maybe I could muffle through it after a year. I don't know when I could actually play it. 3 steps of learning a song. You learn a song, you practice it, and you play it. When you're playing it, you don't even have to think about it. But if you're practicing it, you're probably thinking about what have I learned. You're going back and forth, so you're not really playing the song. So I can't know when I actually played Mood for a Day. But my brain synapses were sharp then, and now all those notes have been sealed. It takes me so much time to learn something new and to retain it, and I can't forget Mood for a Day. It's funny. It's like, so that's nice. That's embedded in the memory banks. I can't forget it. But when I'm writing these songs, I'm not sitting there thinking of Steve Howe or John Anderson or Rick Wakeman or Yes. I'm thinking of what's going on, you know. But I got to the guitar solo part. I go, this right here, it needs something in it. The Yes Songs album, Yours Is No Disgrace. Steve has the one break in the middle. On the studio album, Yes Songs is way different. But on the studio album, when he's doing his solo, there's two breaks to the solo. One is the real spacey stuff, then all of a sudden it comes in with that big rip. And he's all over the place. He's got that one lick at the end where he's going down and up at the same time. I would love to learn that, but sometimes if you learn something, now you know too much about it and you've ruined it. So, I don't think I can learn it, I'll be honest with you. That's one of the riffs in life that it's just intent. Steve uses it on Yours Is No Disgrace. He uses it in Relayer. Not many places he's used that, but it is an incredible lick. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to rip this out. Now again, I'm not Steve Howe. I'm not saying this sounds like Yours Is No Disgrace. It's where I have the idea from to put into my music. In a way, it kind of it's similar to Yours Is No Disgrace rip. It's just similar in. I've said this before on certain things. I got comment back, dude, you're high. It doesn't even sound anything like what you just said. By I think it was a Chris Squire song. And I'm like, I'm all disappointed. Like, damn, I didn't say it was Chris Squire. I didn't say it perfectly sounded like Chris Squire. So my point got misconstrued. The idea for it came from Chris Squire, and the tone was not the Rickenbacker, but it was the closest thing that I could think of that wasn't just the standard doop bass. It had, this huge bass sound like Chris has. It's huge. It's not. So I failed on that. So hopefully I don't fail on this when I say it's kind of Steve Howe-ish. Yeah, off of the Yes album. Yours Is No Disgrace. It's just, it's all I can say. And yeah. Okay, so I'm talking and we're trying to listen and blah blah. I just blow right over that. It's right after the vocal part. The lead is two guitars, one acoustic, one electric, panned left and panned right, not hard, probably 10 and 4. Sometimes I find one guitar it's just kind of boring sometimes, so I'm trying to spice it up with a more fuller sound, and acoustic guitars are great for rhythms and even certain style of leads, but then again, the acoustic on an electric song can be a little flat, so I have to have the electric in there. I don't need anything super distorted, just need the electric, but the acoustic still is in there with the kind of filling up, making it brilliant instead of just bright. And you know it ain't right. There we go. It's back to sample guitar on that Eddie Van Halen bend at the very end. So most of that was sampling, except for my little lead rip in there, and that's it. I can't believe how much I've learned in the first module of Ableton. I haven't done anything in the second module yet, so that'll be a lot of fun to get that going. It's so very cool. And hope you had fun listening to this, because this is probably one of my more exciting videos that I've been doing lately. Been doing in the summer a lot of adventuring, you can see, with the scooter, and I can't get out of the gaming chair. That's probably why I'm not a great musician, is that damn controller. Now Farming Simulator 25 is out, and I got that on the computer. I'll tell you, when they bust farmers balls, they can't bust farmers balls when it comes to for gaming, because it's the only game I've ever had that's crashed my PlayStation. I've had them all. I'm not going to list any of them. I've had them all. The damn Farming Simulator just, it can't handle it. It just, frame rate stops, stutters, it crashes. Alright, let's throw in the cyber power computer, and I got more than enough power there. Ah! Yeah. Kidding myself there. Peace out.